everyone, welcome to 5 More Minutes, the show where two friends relive their childhoods, or in some cases, learn about everything they missed out on. I'm Kendra.
And I'm Scott. And this week I have a dumb joke for Kendra. Why did the Scarecrow get promoted?
Why did the Scarecrow get promoted? Like at its job? I don't know.
Because he was outstanding in his field.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I don't know how to feel about that one. I want to tell that to my students tomorrow. I'm going to write it down. Why did the Scarecrow get promoted? He was outstanding in his field.
Well, you know how it goes. So it sounds like Kendra had a little bit of fun drinking the drinks this weekend, huh?
Yeah, get crunk or get flunked.
Yeah, that's definitely a saying.
It is now.
What did you guys do while you were drinking? Were you just like watching shows or just chilling? Or?
Well, on Friday we watched One Tree Hill because I told Nisa she needed to watch that, and she has been really consumed. She's like very into it.
Oh
like,
boy.
like very into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. And then yesterday we watched Minority Report, and more One Tree Hill.
There you go. So just a weekend of shows and drink, huh?
I don't want to be anything other than me.
It was that in the show or something?
That's the theme song. It's Gavin DeGraw.
Oh my God.
He's actually in like episode 10. He's in a couple different episodes, but that's what I liked about One Tree Hill, because like they have good soundtracks, like actual good music, and they have like so many of the actual like artists in the show, like Fall Out Boy. There's like a bunch later on, and then like some of the characters are like actually good musicians. Like the main one of the main characters, Haley, she has like music out and like actually sings and plays instruments. And this guy that's in like the first couple seasons, Jake, he's really good. That's not his real name, but yeah. And then it's got like sports and broodiness and teenage love and best friends. So like, what more could you want in a show?
I see.
Yeah. And one of the gyms that they film in was Michael Jordan's high school gym.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. MJ in the house, yo.
Yeah, he was in that house.
He was. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but Minority Report was really good. I don't know how I've never seen that. I don't know. I tried to watch Blade Runner, and it's not that I don't think I liked it, because like it's really captivating. Although I feel like in 1982 they had really high hopes for 2019, and the world is not like that.
It is kind of hard to believe that we are in the future of some of those movies now.
Yeah. And that was part of the reason why I wanted to show that one to my class, because then we could talk about like how it's not actually like the way they thought it would be. But I was trying to make a neon sign that said weird person hours for my classroom.
Weird person hours?
Yeah, because I tell my students that when their stuff is due at midnight, they can turn it in during weird person hours, which is essentially anything before like 8 a.m.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. For the college class. And so I bought all this stuff about this like EL wire and then like 16 gauge wire. The EL wire is only like 5 millimeters, but I kept seeing that mentioned everywhere when I looked it up. And then the 16 gauge wire is like the same width. So you're supposed to like print out your words and then use the wire to like make the words. And so I was going to have to do a bunch of stuff like black tape off extra wire. And I don't really like, I think that the wire I bought was too flimsy. Like I bought aluminum wire, but it was
did not like hold its shape very well.
Yeah, it was really easy to like mess up. I was like taping it down in spots because it kept like lifting up. And then when I went to hot glue the EL wire stuff down, there was like no way to do it that looked good. Like you could just see the hot glue like on the sides, and you know how I am about stuff looking good. So I just gave up. I was like 1/3 of the way done, and I just threw. Well, I didn't throw the stuff away, but I threw like the papers. I had them like taped down to my floor Like I printed them out.
Oh yeah.
But I think I need to get some like bendable rope light things and just do it that way. There's still stuff you can cut. It's like flexible, like foamy light stuff. So you can still like shape it and then like cut it at the end. But I need something that's like bigger than the wire because it's just going to drive me nuts.
Yeah, yeah. No, I've seen some videos of like the thicker foam stuff for the signs that looks pretty good.
Yeah, I was really upset. The other stuff was cheaper and I saw that mentioned more than the foamy stuff, which is why I ordered it, but it just wasn't it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like fun. I didn't do any craft projects, but we also had some drinks. Sold some cards at that little swap thing. Can't believe how many people actually like. We just brought all of our bulk cards and we're like, fill a Ziploc bag, as many as you can put in at $5. And I think we had like 20 of those go. Like we had almost $200 worth of just card sales, and I didn't think we were going to get anything like that.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's impressive.
I don't know if people in the Valley are just starved for more nerdy stuff like that, but it worked out pretty well.
Probably.
Yeah, not as big of an availability over here.
This week, we're bringing it back to the legend of Vox Machina.
Nice.
We're talking about episodes 4 through 6. And while rewatching these, I realized I had never actually watched episode 6.
Oh.
And that I hadn't been paying very good attention during episode 5. So
sounds like a normal
so very
thing.
Good. Well, I think I stopped myself from watching episode 6 because I realized I wasn't paying attention. Because like I'm usually pretty good about being like, no, I'm not watching this right now. I need to like come back to it later.
Yeah.
Lately, I just haven't been coming back to things.
Right.
Like I still have one episode of Lovecraft Country left from over a year ago, and I never finished Queen's Gambit. And I just remembered the other day that I was watching The Boys. So
wow. All these loose ends you need to tie up.
So yeah, so we're gonna talk about these episodes, go through little summaries, see what funny things Scott has to say. Did you continue liking it?
Yeah. I don't think there's much danger of me not liking it at this point.
Stranger danger. Well, when we cover the remaining 6 episodes, it will be the first time I'm watching them also because I stopped.
There you go. You'll be learning something new as well.
Oh yeah. All right. So episode 4. Well, I guess quick recap. In the first 3 episodes, our heroes, Vox Machina, get kicked out of a bar, go to a job board, find one that's like professional sounding. It's the Council of Tal'Dorei. Yeah. They want them to go take care of a thing that's not really described. And they find out it's a dragon. Did they figure out the part of how it's one of the council members in the first 3 episodes?
Yes, they did.
Okay. It was the one voiced by David Tennant, yeah?
Yeah, I forget what his name was. It was Krieg.
Yeah,
Krieg.
the one I kept saying wrong.
Yeah.
It's been like a month since we recorded this episode, so I'm a little rusty, but and then in the 3rd episode, they're given a house to keep.
They are, because they do slay the dragon.
They do. Slay, as my students would say.
Right.
And they have like some tender moments and what have you. And then in the 3rd episode, they have like a dinner type of a party thing with Sovereign Uriel, a diplomatic dinner, if you will.
Yeah.
And the Briarwoods are there. And Percy freaks out.
Right.
Because the Briarwoods pretty much killed his family.
Oh, yeah.
But his homies, the rest of Vox Machina, they don't know that because he keeps to himself and they haven't all talked about their lives. So, there's that. And he like goes ballistic. He almost like shoots the driver of the carriage.
Well, he does shoot him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he does? But he doesn't
in
kill
the
him.
hand.
But yeah, he doesn't kill him. And then they get arrested, basically.
Yeah, at the Briarwoods, get away.
And you also find out that Silas, is that his name? Silas Briarwood?
Is there? Oh,
the guy? I think so.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yep.
You find out that he is a vampire.
Yes, and she has his wife, Delilah. Is that right? I had some notes on this I took. Delilah.
Yeah.
And she has like dark magical powers that gives them all problems. So.
But yeah, so they are they recognized Percy. There was kind of like an ordeal. They got under his skin on purpose.
They fired him up.
Yeah. And they're kind of in control of Whitestone, which is where Percy is from. All right. Now that we made it through a really bad recap where I stumbled over all of my words and thoughts, we can get into episode 4, Shadows at the Gates.
Nice.
Yeah. So, like we mentioned, Sovereign Uriel is very upset at Vox Machina for disrupting his dinner and potentially ruining his relations with the Briarwoods because they don't know any different. So he orders his guards to arrest them. Allura diffuses the situation and tells Uriel she will deal with them. And Vex tells Allura that the Briarwoods have affected Uriel's mind, so he's under some sort of magical,
it's like the vampire suggestion.
Yeah, kind of like a charm, like a long-lasting charm type of a thing. She's skeptical, but acknowledges that Uriel's behavior is a little impulsive. Vex tells her that she can get proof, but Allura puts Vox Machina under house arrest, so at least they get to stay in their keep. They don't have to be in the prisons.
Right.
That's always nice, They're just getting a little Martha Stewart up in there.
Yeah.
Because she was under house arrest,
Yeah, I know where you're going.
Okay. I don't really remember what for, but it was a big deal.
Wasn't it like tax evasion or something? It's
Probably.
Always something
That's
with
what
taxes.
It's always that with the rich people.
Yeah, those rich.
So in the carriage back to Whitestone, Delilah panics and realizes that her book has been stolen. Silas is like, no big deal, fam. We can get it back.
Just like, I'm pretty sure that's a direct quote.
Yeah, just imagine me in Matt Mercer's voice as Silas saying that. And it's like exactly the same thing. So Vox Machina's weapons are confiscated. They're locked inside their keep. Pike is preoccupied.
There's too many P's in this.
Yeah, there's a lot of P's. That was a hard sentence. Pike is upset that her holy symbol is dimmed. She's been having issues with her magic, and all that sort of stuff. Because
she got attacked by the dark magic.
Yes, yeah.
So that's what wrote it.
They're all kind of doing their own thing. Grog is exercising. Keyleth. Oh, yeah. Wow. You do a good Grog. Keyleth is creating flowers. Percy is planning and brooding and steamy.
Right.
Scanlan is trying to read Delilah's book, but he can't really. And they make a joke about it.
Yeah, it's like he's like, I've just started translating it. He's like, I got this word, and oh yeah, I got fuck you, Vax.
Yeah.
So he's trying to translate.
Yeah. Vax is concerned that he might be a vampire because he got attacked by Silas. But then he's able to see his own reflection, so he's like, I'm good.
Oh, okay, sweet.
Yeah. They're all confronting each other essentially, like especially Percy about his outburst for not telling him things. They're all concerned. Percy decides to tell them more of the history of his family's relation with the Briarwoods, so that they originally came as allies, but killed his parents, turned to their tutor against him and his siblings, and then tortured them for weeks. Percy and his sister Cassandra attempted to escape, and we did see a flashback to this in episode 3, I think.
Yeah.
But Cassandra was killed in the attempt. So Percy is full of revenge. Feelings of revenge. Rage. He's upset.
Vengeance.
He wants revenge. So they're trying to figure out what his plan is. The Briarwoods stop in a graveyard on their way back, or in Whitestone, not totally sure. And Delilah casts a necromantic spell to create undead servants.
Oh yeah. Lots of them.
Lots of undead. We love the undead here. Percy finds a secret passage in their keep, and so they want to escape to go to Whitestone. Pike is unable to light the way because she's having issues with her magic. But they find Jarrett guarding the hidden exit, kind of as if they knew they were going to find that, I feel like.
Yeah, they were definitely guarding it.
Yeah. So he splits them up and locks them in different groups. So the twins are in a room with Scanlan. Pike is with Grog. And then are the rest together?
Percy, and then Percy and Keyleth are together.
Yeah. So in her, she's attempting to reach the Everlight through prayer and meditation. Pike is in the shrine in the room she's sharing with Grog. She finds herself in an empty, dark space with light at the horizon, but she does not receive an answer. Grog inadvertently interrupts her, and Pike becomes frustrated, then begins crying. So, you know, kind
she's
of
having a hard time.
Yeah. And kind of a typical, like, we're kind of siblings moment between a real big guy and a real little gal.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 guards outside notice a shadow, but they're killed before they can investigate by undead.
Pretty hardcore, too. They, like, come up behind them in the walls and, like, pull them into the stone and just crush them. It was pretty metal.
What a way to go, you know?
Yeah.
Pretty
Not
metal.
A good way,
Did you just say that was pretty metal?
Yeah, dude.
Wow. Okay.
See those enemies? Metal as hell.
Percy builds a gun. Keyleth tells him that she may never see her family again. They have a moment where they're like, I guess we don't really know anything about anyone, sort of a thing. Because she has to prove herself. I think I read that when I was talking about their like backstories. But she's unsure if she can ever prove herself to her like clan or tribe, I guess.
Yeah.
And Percy says she at least still has a living family, and he believes that she's worthy.
Yeah. They're kind of opening up to each other.
Somewhere. Yeah, they're like, let's be more than friends. Let's be better friends.
Right.
Yeah, that totally made sense.
Yep, I follow.
Yeah. Jared and his guards investigate the courtyard and are attacked. The sounds of combat are loud, and Grog breaks down the doors to release Vox Machina. And they encounter surviving guards fleeing back into the main hall. The lights are out, and they're attacked by the undead. They're not able to physically harm them, so they flee into another room, and they're provided some weapons back. Keyleth is attacked by the undead phasing through the wall. They attack the party inside. Again, all the lights go out, draining life from everyone. And Jarrett lights a torch, revealing that light weakens them, but they douse the fire. After some panicking and Percy shouting it's time to prove herself, Keyleth finds the strength to create bright sunlight.
It's a little mini sun in her hand.
Oh, yeah. You got the whole sun in her hand. She's got the whole sun in her hand. You know.
She also drank a Sunny Delight, so.
Take that too. Church.
Yeah, showed that. Take that, church. I remember your song.
Yeah. Vex successfully hits one of them with a crossbow bolt, and the group defeats those remaining. So assured that Vox Machina intends to go after those responsible for killing his guards, Jarrett releases them from the keep. The next morning, Percy tries to leave, but Vox Machina tells him that they will help him. They're like, we're going with you.
You're not going alone.
Yeah. We are one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they said it better. A lot better than that. But they want to help him retake his home of Whitestone. But Pike is like, I can't go. I have to go find my connection to the Everlight. That's my Pike impersonation.
That was not bad, actually.
Yeah, it could be better, but, you know, it's all right.
Compared to your Percy impersonation, it's a lot better.
Yeah, that was not good. So Grog is like, I'll go with you. And she's like, I need to do this by myself. And so she leaves to go find the light. And the rest of Vox Machina encourage Keyleth to be the new light of the group. And the rest of them, I think this episode ends with them being all like, let's go to Gilmore's.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, because,
Gilmore, that flamboyant shopkeeper, they got to go stock up on supplies.
And there's a budding romance there, I feel like, between him and Vax.
Right, exactly. He's got the hots for him, and he makes sure that he knows it. So,
oh yeah, I was definitely just stirring that while I was talking, so I probably got some of that in the background because I have a glass straw and ice cubes and a glass cup. So
I did hear some of it. I don't know how bad it'll be on your end.
But. Yeah, it's okay. Usually, if I'm not talking, it doesn't pick it up. But since I was talking and it was directly below my mouth, probably picked it up. It's all right though.
It's all good.
Anyway, so that's the end of episode 4. Did you have anything, thoughts, opinions, anything about episode 4?
I thought the enemies were pretty wild. I kind of mentioned it already, but when they were like killing people and they were like drained their life, they just like everyone was like bleeding tar out of their eyes and mouth. It looked like it was like some hardcore stuff. So
yeah, it's like that dark undead blood.
Yeah, and
like
then when like
goopy stuff.
Yeah, old dark black, and but it was pretty hardcore. They went all out when they were showing them killing people. There was just like gore and stuff flying everywhere. So if you're into that, it was pretty good.
Oh yeah,
get on board.
They're into it for sure. I know our small fan base, and they like dark blood.
Yeah, violence, profanity.
We love profanity.
Yeah, duh.
Yeah. Like that's even a question. All right. Episode 5 is titled Fate's Journey. So I think there's a couple different things going on here because Vax, Vex, and Keyleth are trying to break into Gilmore's Glorious Goods because it's not business hours. It's like late at night, I think, or something.
Yeah, and they're still wanted, so they have to kind of be careful.
Yeah. But before they can gather supplies, Gilmore magically traps them. There's a lot of joking, gesturing, flirting going on.
Innuendo.
If you will. Yeah, he was like, oh, I bet you were going to leave me some, like an IOU or something, weren't you? But then he also makes a joke about Vax. So there's kind of some sexual tension, honestly, between Gilmore and Vax.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. One of the highlights from this is Keyleth getting a Chinese finger trap stuck on her fingers. And she just cannot get it off. And it's honestly kind of funny.
Yeah, I really thought there was going to be a point to that later on. Like that was going to come into play. Nope, it didn't. I think it's just supposed to show like Vax and her kind of starting to bond because he got it off for her.
Yeah, so. He tells her to like push the dragon heads or whatever. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But they are gathering supplies specifically geared towards like vampires and dark magic-y things.
Yeah.
They have a limited amount of holy water, like a little vial. They get some enchanted arrows, a stake, and I think
some
those
garlic.
Garlic. They were like, as much garlic as you have.
Yeah.
So just a lot of stuff generally. So they meet up with everyone else. So Percy and Grog, I think, because Pike's not there. Oh, and Scanlan. And they were getting a carriage, I think.
Yeah, they went to find a horse in a carriage.
They stole it.
Right.
Percy is
free
driving.
$99.
Yeah. Free $99. Percy is driving. Vex is being the lookout because she's like a ranger, so like she is good with like,
and she's the archer, so
yeah. Apparently she teases him about his bitch face. I don't think I remember that part, but
yeah, she tells him he has a severe like resting bitch face, and he's like, I have the best resting bitch face there is. So
I mean, who doesn't, honestly?
Yeah.
And then Scanlan and Keyleth are attempting to decipher Delilah Briarwood's book. And is that like a spell book or is it supposed to be a journal? Like, does it really tell us?
It's a spell book, I believe.
Yeah, like a dark magic spell book, probably. So they determine, based on whatever's in there, that she is planning something to do with a ziggurat.
Yeah, whatever the hell that
and
is.
a ziggurat is an ancient temple.
Oh.
Let's see, where did that go? Okay. The ziggurats are ancient temples dedicated to the worship of the goddess Ione. After the calamity, her following was largely cold, and places of her worship, including the ziggurats, generally became more private as it was hunted by followers of Ione enemies. Only 3 ziggurats were shown during the big campaign. And Ione, I think, is the god, the knowing mistress. I think that is in campaign 2. I think that's Bo's like deity that she worships. For anyone out there who actually watches Critical Role, because wait, hold on.
Uh-oh. We're going to the props. Oh, the illusion is shattered. Oh, we got a thing.
So I have this Beauregard. This doesn't make any sense to Scott, but I have this Beauregard themed dice tray from Conjure Woodlands Creations on Facebook or Instagram and Etsy. But this is supposed to be like the symbol, or like
the Illuminati,
a version of the symbol of Ione, because I believe that's Beauregard's thing, worshipped by the Cobalt Soul. So a little bit of campaign 2 lore. For probably absolutely no one, but I really like this dice tray, and I have not played D&D since I've had the dice tray, so I've really never been able to use.
You gotta break it in.
Well, I need my friends to play D&D with me. Anyways, fun fact: I got off on a tangent when I saw Ione, but that is discussed a little bit during campaign 2, and the calamity is like a big war that happened like a vast amount of time ago. That kind of like, I think, caused like the creation of the world, kind of like because there's like post calamity, so it's kind of like, but it was supposed to have happened like several years, if you will, ago.
Million.
Anyway, so the whole tangent of that was that Delilah Briarwood is planning something at an ancient temple dedicated to the goddess Ione. That's what we need to know.
That's all you need to know.
And then Vax notices Grog sitting at the back of the cart, upset that Pike has stayed behind. He's a little sad boy. He's like, my little buddy's gone.
Poor Grog. He's sad. He's never had a journey too much without her, I'm guessing. At this point.
And they like took him in, so. Alrighty. So they're continuing toward Whitestone. The forest is becoming darker and stranger and kind of spooky.
True.
Vex notices that they are being attacked by strange wolf-like creatures and tells Percy to stop. At first, Keyleth tries to communicate with them, but they reveal strange multi-jawed mouths and long tongues.
Yeah, they look like something straight out of Resident Evil.
Yeah, I wouldn't know that, but yeah, sure.
Fair enough.
Percy deduces that they were sent by Delilah, a good deduction. One of them steals Scanlan and the book. Vox Machina gives chase because they don't want their other little buddy gone.
Right.
Keyleth uses magical vines to provide Percy bridges over deep chasms.
Chasms?
Chasms. I knew that was wrong, and I still said it.
Yes, deep chasms.
Listen, that's how the word is spelled.
Yeah.
I don't teach English. And so the rest of them are fighting off the creatures. The creature with Scanlan intends to jump with him over a cliff. So there's a lot of drama ensuing, if you will.
Yeah, and not to let you just like scan over. What, I don't know if you noticed the scene where the dog like put its tongue in Scanlan's mouth. What the hell, man?
I don't think I noticed, but I feel
Did
like
you miss that? And then Scanlan was like, oh, and then he was like,
oh, I think I actually noticed that the first time I watched it, because that does sound familiar. But yesterday I was cooking when I was watching it, so I might have gotten a little like sidetracked.
Yeah, I was like, ugh.
All right.
Yeah.
You know, Scanlan's a little sexual guy, so it's fine.
That he is.
So they are trying to get Scanlan back, obviously, before this wolf-like creature with a long tongue jumps over a cliff. So Vex shoots an arrow with a rope for Scanlan to grab onto, and they bail from the cart before it goes over the cliff. The rope turns out severed, but Scanlan very dramatically reveals that he rescued himself with Scanlan's hand, which I guess is the name of his spell.
Yep.
Big B's hand is what it's technically called. And he kind of rides up as if he were like Miley Cyrus, like coming up on stage. Like instead of her wrecking ball in the air, she's just like bringing it up with her.
Right.
Singing kind of a dramatic song. But all of the supplies and the book are lost.
Yeah. Holy water, everything.
Yeah. The creature is like cut in half, but it picks up the book and scurries off.
Yeah. It's undead, so it doesn't give a crap.
Mm-hmm. In Whitestone, the creature returns the book to Delilah as she and Silas discuss Resudum.
Sure.
Which is an arcane energy that's a green dust.
Hmm.
It's obtained from Whitestone and is useful for several magical applications.
So they're just harvesting this place.
Mm-hmm. Sort of refining, because for a ritual. And then there's a odd scene where 7 villagers, including a small child, are brought into the castle as, quote, dinner guests. And the child is like, did we win a prize? And she's like, yeah.
Yeah, you sure did.
Yeah,
it's the best.
Just like that.
Yeah.
And then you find out what happens to them later.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. So back in the forest, Vox Machina sets up a camp. Scanlan reads a scroll that he had taken. And Grog is amused by that because Scanlan keeps changing into like different talking animals.
Yeah. And eventually a woman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which was my probably favorite Grog quote from these 3 episodes was he was like, he was very amused by them turning into animals. And then it didn't show right away what Scanlan had turned into. And he was like, oh, I'm now confused and aroused.
Yeah. She just have a bunch of shirts with Grog sayings on them.
Yeah, no kidding.
And then Keyleth and Vax are talking, and Vex is just watching with suspicion. Oh, what is going on over there?
I don't much like the looks of this.
Sorry, this is a side note, but do you have like a sickly king voice? Like, I am the sickly king.
Like sick as in diseased?
Well, you know how there's like always like a sickly king?
Well, yeah, but your guy doesn't sound like he's sick at all.
Well, that's just what I equate to being like a puny, weak, and pathetic man.
Oh. I always think of like the guy from Lord of the Rings, like, you have no power here.
I was thinking more, that's actually like a voice that they use in NADPOD for these really annoying guys, but it just reminds me of like you know the scrawny guy in The Last Kingdom. It just kind of reminds me of him, where it's like,
He's like, oh, I swear if I had an extra foot or 2 on you and maybe about 30 extra pounds, I could take you in a fight.
See, it's complete.
You gotta add that to the end, I guess.
That's like my favorite sound to make.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think tomorrow when I teach, I'm gonna start and end every sentence with
See how long that takes to get old.
Yeah. I'll do it at least once during my college classes.
Perfect.
Anyways, gotta backtrack it up. During this, they also do a cutscene to Pike, who's traveling to a temple of the Everlight. She tells a cleric that since she was attacked, she has felt cut off from the Everlight's power and fears that she is cursed. The cleric invites her in. There's a little bit more to that scene there, where I think she's essentially trying to tell her that she's not cursed.
Yeah, she's basically like, it is impossible to sever a connection to the Everlight. Yeah. So she's making it kind of sound like this is a you problem that you're going to have to figure out.
Yeah, like accept who you are, and find the light within your ever-loving self, man.
And now we're hippies.
Yeah. Well, I got to get prepared for Surfer Day tomorrow. Like,
right.
Hang loose, brother.
You totally tubular.
Oh, yeah, tube-tastic.
Now you're just a Valley girl.
I know. I can't. I'm rotating through voices like crazy.
You're just going through all of them.
Right I was trying to do something earlier and it switched between 3 different things. My focus, I guess, isn't there.
Yeah.
So then we get to another scene with Vox Machina in the woods. It gets very wild, if you will, because they are talking about things they have killed.
Yep.
And most of them, are talking about like creatures and monsters. Percy just talks about the Briarwoods because he's a Debbie Downer. And Grog is telling him he's been a buzzkill.
Yep.
And during this time, Scanlan has a very interesting kill he's talking about.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. Not in the traditional sense of Dungeons and Dragons monster killing.
He found his in a brothel, and apparently it's some kind of shapeshifter. And he was having a very good time right up until the end. But he did note that he still finished before
he did. He did brag about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I guess there was still creature killing, but it was very heavily focused on the other part.
Right.
And a lot of times, I may have mentioned this before because I took a whole class on Victorian literature. But the word killing, I think, or death, one of those two, is often used as a euphemism for orgasming.
Killing.
Because it's like, I'm going to kill him, but it's like sex related.
Must have been lost to the times, huh?
Yeah, because they had to be careful about what they wrote about. But a lot of, and like, because like some of the women, like the Brontes and stuff. Oh, I guess it's die, not kill. But maybe in some it is also can be correlated. Because a lot of the Bronte sisters didn't publish, like they had to publish under male names and stuff to get published. But
makes sense.
The euphemism to die, meaning to spend oneself completely in orgasm.
Wow.
Yeah, and that actually is older than Victorian literature. So maybe by the time I got to Victorian literature, it was being like
kind of
morphed into other words. Yeah. Anyways, fun facts from an English master's owner.
I am the owner of a master's. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyways, Vex pulls Vax aside as everyone gets ready for bed and warns him against Keyleth. Some inter-party minglings going on.
They're getting a little too chummy for her tastes.
And Vax is like, just because we've been betrayed before doesn't mean they can't trust anyone. And then they go to bed, but Percy stays up, spinning the barrels of his gun as if he is playing Russian roulette.
Yeah, he just keeps clicking and clicking, and yep.
And there's lots of names written on the barrel also.
Right.
Including Silas and Delilah. In the morning, Percy describes how Whitestone once appeared, giving like this grand description of such a beautiful place. He tells Vox Machina that the Sun Tree is believed to have been planted by the Dawn Father himself.
The Dawn Father. It was so hilarious of a term. I kept like, what? Because it always makes me think of Godfather. So
yeah. Well, it kind of is.
It was like the Sun Tree is very much like Elden Ring, the Erd Tree,
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever seen The Godfather.
Gosh. Add to the list.
Yeah.
Classic.
Vlasic. The other day, Scott texted me classic, and I just sent a picture of Vlasic pickles.
Yep.
I was laughing so hard to myself. And
I believe this was funny. Also part of you being a little tipsy at this point. I think
it was, which is why I was laughing so hard.
That makes sense.
But it's still funny today, and I'm sober, so
true enough.
Did you notice anything different about Zoom?
About Zoom?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Oh, okay.
Is there something different?
Yeah. Anyways, his wonderful description is quickly proven no longer.
Now I see it.
Those are supposed to show up in the videos and they don't. It makes me sad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it puts a timestamp on it instead.
Kendra changed my name to the Dawn Father, by the way.
Because he is the Dawn Father.
Yes.
Percy tells Vox Machina that they need to find Keeper Genin, if she's alive, as she'll know what to do. I skipped a line. His wonderful description is quickly proven no longer true as the party arrives in a rundown town with terrified villagers, no guards at the gate, really grungy and dry, and it's like a medieval version of Gotham.
Yeah, it's like a wasteland. You can tell it's gone to shit. No one's upkeeping anything. Everything's broken. Everything's dirty. Far cry from what Percy described it as being when he was there.
Mm-hmm. So they walk through the streets, hiding from guards and stone giants, but Percy suddenly freezes as he notices the sun tree strung with corpses. They are the 7 dinner guests, dressed to look like the members of Vox Machina.
Yeah.
And that is how episode 5 ends.
Kind of rough for them. Little kid is Scanlan, I believe. So rough times.
Yeah. So episode 5, a lot happens. Very, it goes from like robbery and seductiveness to carriage chase and near death to killing and sex,
right,
to beautiful descriptions, to dim realities, to stark comparisons.
Okay. You wrapped that up pretty well.
Episode 5 in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, holla at your boy. So let's go into episode 6, Spark of Rebellion. And this was the one that I had not seen yet. So I had to be like, whoa, food, cook yourself. I got
Kendra actually had to pay attention.
Yeah. So the Whitestone rebels, led by Archibald Desney, plan their next room around a spy called the Kestrel. They're interrupted by a zombie stone giant tearing into their hideout, killing or capturing most of them. Carrion Stonefell comes to take Archie, specifically gloating over his capture. At the Sun Tree, Keyleth hesitantly suggests that they take down the corpses, but Percy tells her the tree is being watched and they should leave. As Vox Machina stands in the streets, a resident tells them to get out of the streets, and they hide in an alley as one of the giants approaches. The resident recognizes the Dorolo crest on Percy's coat and asks if he's part of the resistance. Strong Hunger Games vibes.
Oh, yeah. Like the Mockingjay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do they do?
I think it's that.
Sure. I don't remember, but I feel like that's close. Don't quote me on that.
Right.
All right. Vax says they're not, but that they share a common enemy in the Briarwoods, and Percy asks if Yenin is still alive. Yenin preaches non-violence and hope to her congregants, urging them to wait for a sign. Afterward, Percy, face hidden very much in the shadows, asks Yenin if she believes the Dawnfather, Scott, will send a sign. She recognizes Percy and is saddened by how he's changed. Probably the white hair from the trauma and all this stuff, A
lot of trauma, a little maybe some mental distress happened.
Oh, for sure. Rage.
Yeah, a lot of rage. I also found it odd. This town looks so dead, but she still had like 15 people to preach to in the town square.
It's like they're all, and they were in the middle of the, because it was supposed to be like that one they were in the town, and I was like, that's very bold of her.
Yeah. It's like there's giants walking around just stepping on people.
Yeah, but then after that, she brings them to their rebel hideout.
Whoa.
We love a good rebel hideout up in here.
Yeah.
Grog unhappily discovers that there's no ale.
That is a rough discovery. I'm
because the Briarwoods have made life difficult in Whitestone. Percy accusingly asks Yenin why she preaches nonviolence while working with the resistance. Yenin believes a successful uprising requires a sufficiently strong and well-organized resistance, which is not possible without Archie. Percy is happily surprised that Archie, a childhood friend, leads the rebels. He's like, oh, we grew up together. We played
How is he
together.
still alive?
He's still alive. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And Keyleth tries to communicate to the Sun Tree through its roots. And Vox Machina decides to rescue Archie because he was just captured kind of at the beginning of that episode.
Right.
Then we cut back to Pike. Oh, this is where she has a conversation about being cursed. I was getting that confused because it was such little glimpses.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so she has a moment again where she's in the dark realm with light at the horizon, wandering and calling to her deity, and then everything bursts into flame and she snaps back to herself. And that's when she feels like she's cursed, but the cleric is like, this is not an external curse, but something within you.
Yeah. You are creating this problem.
Mm-hmm. So Archie is being mocked, and they're trying to get him to name his allies, which again is a little weird since they were just sitting in the town square, but I guess you can't be watching everything all at once. So,
and how many could there be at this point? He killed like 10 of them when he captured him. So it was like, how many are left?
Yeah. But I guess you gotta wonder, like, what happened to all the people who aren't part of the resistance? Like, are they just all being in the town like normal? Because there weren't a lot of moments where they were like in the actual like town. I guess we'll probably get more of that later, but
yeah.
Vax picks a lock while Percy and Scanlan stand watch. Vex distractingly flirts with the guards, allowing. Oh, did I skip something?
We were kind of like cutting around here.
I scrolled too far. Keyleth, Scanlan, and Grog pitch plans, but Vax dismisses them as terrible. Vex emphasizes the need for a simpler, more efficient plan, which seems to be her agenda, honestly. But first, they need to know where Archie is. Percy uses the sights from his newly built rifle to scout the prison. He watches Archie being interrogated about Vox Machina, and he watches Archie being knocked out when he can't answer, and Vex formulates the plan. Half the team will break into the back door and half will enter the front. You'll have a good breaking into the back door.
That's what Scanlan said.
Oh, see, I feel like me and Sam Riegel could be friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the back, Vax picks a lock while Percy and Scanlan stand watch. Vex distractingly flirts with the guards, allowing Grog to incapacitate them and Keyleth to grab the keys. Vax repeatedly fails to unlock the back door. Vex gives in to Keyleth's insistence that they free the other prisoners. And Vax and Scanlan injure Scanlan while continuing to fail to open the door. That sentence is confusing to me.
Yeah, so that he keeps trying to lockpick it, and Scanlan tries to help by shoving a knife in there, and then he cuts his hand open.
It was just worded weird, I guess. And Percy goes to find a window instead. Vax, Keyleth, and Grog discover the rebels, who should be keeping watch outside, entered the prison. The rebels admit they want to fight, and the group is discovered by guards.
Dang it.
Can't trust your bros.
Not stealthy.
Scanlan fails to magically kick the back door down, and Percy falls out of the window. A guard opens the door to empty a chamber pot, which he throws onto Vax and Scanlan. Vax kills him, and they finally enter the prison to join the others.
They did it.
I hate it when I'm just walking past the door and a chamber pot gets emptied on me.
It
just happens a whole bunch probably of like twice a week, you know?
That's rough. You got to stop hanging out in those areas.
I need to stop time traveling is what it is.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. The group discovers Archie badly wounded and release him. As they go to leave, Stonefell, one of the bad guys, captures Scanlan. He orders Scanlan killed, but Scanlan escapes by distracting them with an illusion. I don't know what that was.
I'm not quite sure either.
Vox Machina and the rebels attack the guards. Vax instructs Percy to take Archie to safety. After Stonefell kills the rebel who brought Vox Machina to Yenin, Keyleth transforms into a big cat. Wow.
Yeah.
You trying to impress Joe Exotic?
Yeah, hit me up.
She attempts to attack him, but he escapes. Grog happily discovers full kegs of alcohol. He's very pumped by this.
He is.
Yeah, it'd be like me if I hadn't had coffee in like 2 months and then someone gave me a big barrel of coffee.
Woo!
Oh, yeah. Archie convinces Percy to let him clear an exit. Percy sees Stonefell and Stonefell's name on the barrel of Percy's gun. And it glows.
Oh, yeah. He's close.
So Percy goes after him, abandoning the others at the exit. Archie and Vax chase him. Percy dons his mask and approaches Stonefell. The dark smoke billows around him, and he identifies himself as the vengeance for the Dorolo.
Oh, yeah.
I've had a lot of mention of vengeance lately between this and the Batman movie.
The Batman. Yeah, he is the closest thing to the Batman we have in the show.
Stonefil admits he killed the DeRollos for fun. Something you never want to hear.
Yeah.
Percy
Seems
responds.
pretty dumb.
Yeah, Percy responds, "You were the one I was least looking forward to." Was that better?
That was a lot better, yeah.
I still can't get the depth. You were the one I was least looking for. No.
Oh, yeah, you're getting worse now.
Yeah. He easily disarms and incapacitates Stonefil. When he removes his mask to allow Stonefil to recognize him, his witch doctor mask or whatever.
Witch doctor.
What's it called?
Plague doctor.
Yeah, plague doctor, same thing. His eyes are completely black. Black?
Yes.
Yeah. Percy shoots him repeatedly. Boom, 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 boom. And as Stonefil dies, his name disappears from the gun.
That it does.
Yeah. Spooky.
Successful.
Vax calls for Percy. Startled. Woo!
Yeah.
Percy points his gun at him. Vax scolds him for risking the mission, but Percy angrily insists that as the only surviving DeRollo, he must have vengeance at any cost. And that is when Archie tells him that he's not the only remaining DeRollo.
What?
Yes, and he was like, "Oh, my sister?
She's alive."
So they regroup with the others at the exit using one of Grog's kegs of alcohol and a flaming arrow. Vex sets the prison on fire. We didn't start the fire.
But they did.
How dare you?
But they did start it.
Fine. As they leave, Percy is overjoyed. But it cuts to Whitestone Castle. Cassandra DeRollo watches the building burn. Delilah and Byron join Cassandra at the window. Delilah tells her that Percy's return does not change anything.
Ominous.
End scene.
And that's all you get for now.
Yep. Okay, bye.
Oh, wow.
Okay, but that is the end of episode 6. So,
yeah.
Leaving us with a lot of things to think about.
True.
So, what did you think of that episode?
It was also good. It's kind of interesting on what Percy's got going on with that little magic gun, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It'll be kind of interesting to see where that leads.
I mean, why have a gun if it's not magical, you know?
Yeah. True.
Truth. Hard facts. You know?
Truth. Preach it. And I guess I don't know if it's of note, but Cassandra apparently has black hair mostly, but still has white in it. So watch out. Trauma.
I was trying to figure out if maybe she's like a vampire or something. I don't
know. Yeah, I guess that's possible. I mean, clearly he has something established with the Briarwoods that we don't know about yet.
Or maybe they told her he was dead or something too. Like there could be a lot going on there.
Yeah. We're just going to have to find out.
So instead of making a knowledge quiz, I thought we could do this. I think it has 9 questions. It's a Vox Machina personality quiz.
Oh, nice.
It's on a weird website, uquiz.com/quiz/TLM, capital F, capital R, lowercase p, /Vox-Machina. And it first wants us to enter our names. Are you going to enter your real name?
I did, so.
Okay, I'll enter my real name then too. Start quiz. Real. Okay. Are you the disagreement settler and deep thinker, loyal, mischievous, outgoing one, person with the best GPA, jock or athlete, the follower, the quiet and troubled but lovable one, or the class clown? I think I'm the first one, honestly.
Mine are all in different order, so I think, was that the disagreement settler?
Yeah. Oh, yours are in different orders. That's weird.
Yeah. I don't know which one I am. Not that outgoing. Not really a follower. I was not a class clown. I did not have the best GPA.
You're kind of quiet and troubled.
Yeah, thank you. I could dig that, I guess. I mean,
Yeah, you hold it all within, you know?
Yeah.
Embrace your dark side.
With the Batman.
All right. Question 2 of 9. What book would you most like to read? And apparently these are not in the same order. A thoughtful book about your religion and how to get closer to it. An informational book about history. I'd rather not read anything. A book of poems about nature. A romance novel. Any good piece of literature. Or a book of comedy, pop songs, and jokes.
What kind of book is that?
I think probably the type of book that Jackie would like.
Oh,
maybe.
Okay.
You know, like one of those like anthologies of like a pop culture thing. That's kind of what I got. But I'm just gonna pick any good piece of literature because I have a master's degree in English.
I'm gonna do the informational book about history.
Oh. All right. Question 3. What Hogwarts house are you in? Hufflepuff, baby?
Oh, yeah, I'm a Slytherin.
Yeah, all my friends are Slytherins. I don't understand.
What the heck?
Question 4 of 9. Can you finish this sentence? When I was a young boy, my father took me into the city to see a marching band. He said, son. I mean, isn't it just the I feel like I've been exposed to it?
Well, you would be yes.
I didn't read all of the answers.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, yes in all capitals with the exclamation marks.
Right.
What are you putting?
I just put yes, but I'm not in that phase anymore.
Oh, I'm always in the phase to sing the song and dance.
Right. Yeah. Well, speaking of that,
I was too excited to read that. Best movie, The Greatest Showman, The Lord of the Rings Extended Edition, which is, I think, what we watched in high school. X-Men First Class.
Whoa.
Planet Earth. 50 Shades of Grey. Those are okay.
I'm going with Lord of the Rings here.
Yeah, me too. Interesting combination of movies. I guess they were trying to put a little something for everyone in there.
Yeah.
What is your favorite element? Fire, water, earth, or air? Should I pick water just because that's my last name?
That's pretty
that's
good.
That's not
my
name. It's not my name. I'm gonna pick water.
I'll do fire.
Plus, I like a good lake, a good river, like staring at the never-ending ocean.
Yeah.
Right. Favorite music genre? Classical, emo, Broadway show tunes, or pop.
There's no rock on here.
Yeah,
seriously?
None of this is really my favorite genre, but I guess I'll go with pop because that's what the most things fall into. I feel like a lot of what I listen to is like a multi-genre type of a thing.
Yeah, I guess I'll just do pop too because literally none of that other stuff.
Yeah. Question 8. Who do you think are most alike? Wait, who do you think you are most like? Wow.
Right.
Scanlan, Keyleth, Grog, Vex, Vax, Pike, Percy, Trinket. I don't know.
That is kind of tough.
Especially only being at the 6th episode and not having extended knowledge of this campaign. I feel like I'm kind of like Keyleth because she's so like naturey and like, you know, she has good intentions.
Yeah.
I feel like I make a lot of immature jokes like Scanlan and then I like to sing. So I feel like I could honestly be either of those two, you know?
Yeah, there's just like little parts that could be any of them because the humor, Scanlan has a humor. Grog is just kind of, big and dumb. Everyone has those moments.
Except for little people. Not like little people. I mean, like someone couldn't be big and dumb if they were like 5'1" and weighed like 120 pounds. They could be a big dummy. Yeah.
So I'm kind of bouncing between Vax and Percy.
Honestly, you seem like a Percy to me.
That's kind of what my first choice was going to be. So
I'm going to go with Keyleth because I don't think I'm quite Scanlan enough.
Not quite. It's hard to be that Scanlan.
It is, yeah. Question 9. What is your motto? I will protect those I love.
I got real serious there.
Honesty, faith, friendship, and badassness. A clever tongue can be just as useful as a heavy blow.
That's like a double entendre.
Yeah, it is. Find strength in your friends and satisfaction in beating your enemies to a pulp. Knowledge is power. All life is beautiful, and nature is a wild, lovely thing not to be tamed. For love, any sacrifice seems worth it. Keep a light heart, but be fierce when fighting for a cause you believe in.
Huh. So what do you think?
I don't know. I feel like maybe all life is beautiful or knowledge is power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I have this book right here called Erosion that's about nature being wild and it's not really about any of those things, but I have read another book by Terry Tempest Williams that is kind of more like nature is wild and lovely and don't tame it or hurt it.
Ooh, watch out.
And I also have a book right next to me called The Overstory by Richard Powers that is literally about the life of a tree.
Oh,
it's actually pretty good. Recommend it.
I'd say you're pretty naturey then, huh?
And I have this other book about national park memorials.
Wow.
Shout out Jen Ladino, my professor.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, I think I'm going to just go with the simple, I will protect those that I love.
Oh, I thought you were going to pick the tongue one. All right.
Close second.
All right. Who'd you get?
I got Percy.
I got Keyleth. Did it just give us what we picked?
I mean, know.
It does have a percentage breakdown.
Yeah, apparently most people are Keyleth. Nice.
31%. Oh, that's just how I compare to others. So did it just give us what we picked?
That can't be. No, that's the percentage of who took the quiz.
I know, but do you think that it just gave us the option we picked?
I don't know. Well, let me do it again.
No, I clicked back and it went back to the beginning.
Hold on. Speed run just for science.
I'm gonna do all different answers, but pick Keyleth.
Oh, okay, that will be a good one.
50 Shades of Grey.
50 Shades of Grey. Oh yeah.
Emo. Okay, I'm gonna pick Keyleth again. And then I'm gonna protect a clever tongue. I tried to pick some Scanlan ones.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a different answer that time. So
it just lined up with it, I think.
Yeah.
Because I'll pick a random. And that one. Yeah, that one. Well, that one still picked the other one that I picked. So science didn't work for me there.
Well, science worked for me.
Well, apparently I'm Percy, first glance.
And I'm Keyleth.
So there you go.
I do nature magic. I do like druids, and I feel like I'm a druid at heart. So.
Oh, well, there you go. Accurate.
Do you have anything to add about either of the episodes? Or any of the episodes?
I don't think so. I'm enjoying watching them, so I look forward to seeing what happens next.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to plug making a drink that is 2/3 black raspberry LaCroix, 1/3 orange juice, and then has some whipped cream out of a can mixed in on top.
Nice.
It's kind of like a healthy Italian soda, so I just would recommend that. Also, buy my dice. I still have like 10 sets in stock. They're on sale, and no one has purchased any in a month. I gotta make that cash.
Yeah, what the hell? We gotta get that money.
Yeah. So that's www.brokenbowdiceshop.com/shop.
And I guess for me this week, last week I posted an introductory shoe review blog on the website.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, but it got 13 full views. Wow. And I think only 2 of them were me.
And none of them were me. So
that one was just an introduction to what it's going to be. I am working on the first actual review post now. So watch out for that.
Wow, look at that. I didn't even know you did that.
Yeah, how about that?
A new shoe review. A new shoe review method is born. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Super Saiyan shoe scrutiny.
I was trying to find something with a bunch of S's.
I got you.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a working title.
Mm-hmm. So Scott was plugging our blog, so go check it out.
That's right. You better.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah.
I want a shirt that says hell yeah, brother. And I also want a shirt that says whatever Grog said about being kind of turned on.
I know. I need to make sure I said that right. But he said something about, I'm confused, but also aroused.
Yeah. Next time I come over, let's make those with the cricket.
Nice.
And then we can wear them when we pod.
Yeah. Show it off.
Yeah. Anyways, we'll wrap it up. So you can send us an email to 5FIVE moreminutespod@gmail.com with stories about yourself so we can do segments with topic suggestions, comments, questions, any sort of stuff like that. You can find us on all of our social medias at 5MMPOD on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And we've been being better about posting, I think, except on TikTok. I'm still kind of failing at that. You can hashtag 5MMPOD on any app. I also don't post on Facebook that much because it's mostly old people.
Yeah, Facebook is a dying media.
Yeah, you can like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Download our episodes, please, for the love of the gods. Download them. Share them. Hit the share button. Send it from Spotify to your friend's group chat and be like, hey, check these homies out. You can find our website with Scott's blog post at bit.ly/5MMPOD. And I think that's it. Oh, share us with your friends and family, your friends who are your family, and your family who's more like friends than family.
Yeah. With that, we will clock out till next week.
Bye.
Bye.